BMRForum.com and BMRodds.com. What is going on, boys? What is going on? Welcome back to episode number 75 of The Lobby. And Donnie, you know what time it is?
Oh, game time.
Game
Game
time,
time,
baby.
boys.
Game
Woo.
time, baby. We've been waiting all
Mm.
summer
Yeah,
for this, guys. And NFL week number one is
yeah.
finally upon us. As you can see, Sammy with that Cowboys jersey that should be burned to the
Mm.
ground right now. But Sammy, how you doing this afternoon?
Good, good. Not too bad. Winning on the tennis, but actually went to the
Mm.
casino today. Played some poker. Had a real bad beat. Played pocket aces as beautifully as possible. I knew the guy
Right.
had pocket queens. Nothing he did wrong. We're all in on the turn. He rivers a queen. It's about a six
Of
hundred
course he
fifty
does.
dollar pot. So that
Ah,
wasn't
Jeez.
fun. I had to grind back.
right.
I was down about 280 overall, but tough session. Really should have won money. But no problem winning it back at tennis, winning it back elsewhere. On to
Yep.
football tomorrow. That's why you got the whole network of gambling. You lose some, you win some.
Yep.
Hopefully,
Yep.
you win
Exactly right.
long term.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Did you play any slots or just poker over there?
Hell no. So you know
Mm.
my method when it comes to slots. I only play if I'm up money, and then I'll dump
Mm.
$200 in 5 minutes
Yeah.
at the slot machines because they're the
Yeah.
worst. However, I did still look around to see if I found. I did find some slots with like the mini, the super, the max,
Right.
like you were
Okay.
saying, but it didn't match up to what you were saying, like the
Yeah.
7,500, 150. So like. And again,
You gotta
I don't
say,
touch the slots unless I'm up money elsewhere because I never win at them. Unfortunately, I lost at poker today, but we'll get them next time.
well, if you next time you're at the casino, if you see any slots like that, feel free to shoot me a picture. You know what? I'll help you out there.
It wasn't like the Royal Regal or whatever machine
Okay.
you were saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
But
I
I
mean,
mean,
there's,
it's
we
probably
could
West
cover,
Coast, East Coast. There's so many variations of slots. You know what I mean?
we could
Yeah.
cover a whole show with that. That's a topic for another day.
I
But
don't even know.
Love slot machines.
real fast before I move on to Donnie, what's up with the huge bald spot over here?
What do you mean bald spot?
Right, you know the
Yeah, it's looking
whole
fresh.
It's the
Looking
one
hair.
fresh
side.
It's
today.
the hair move. Yeah,
That's better. Okay, better,
look,
much
this-
better.
that's the
Yeah.
Donnie look. I mean,
Yeah.
I got, there's
Throw it
nothing
up
wrong
there.
with that. I'm
Yeah.
not knocking it. I'm just saying that's not my style. Like, there you go.
A lot better. Thank you, because I don't want to look at the other thing with the huge bald spot for the whole show.
There you go.
Moving
All right.
on, Mr. Donnie Whiteside. Good afternoon, Donnie. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm loving it, man. Football's this week, and obviously my team's the Philadelphia Eagles. Friday night game against the Green Bay Packers. So you got Thursday, Friday football, full slate Sunday. Obviously Sunday night football, a great Monday night football game. These are the times, gentlemen, we have to enjoy because we talk about how long it takes to get here. Before we can blink, we will be doing this same show, being like, "Oh, what a great season! It's the Super Bowl," and then away we go at that point. So let's just enjoy it all the way through. The contests are fantastic, and by the way, I know you guys will bring that up. I did place in the money last night, last year in the $20,000 contest. By far, my favorite contest. Not even talking about just Bookmakers Review. Anywhere across the internet, it's the best one out there. Pick 7 games, rate them. Maybe survive the first couple weeks here before we can make a run. It was awesome last year. Great participation. Hope we have the same thing this year, but I couldn't get in that tournament fast enough, guys, and I can't wait for it.
Donnie, since you brought it up, let's talk about it. I want
Yeah.
to know what's your strategy going into it?
It's hard. Like, if you can just tread water or even be ahead after the first 2 weeks, you're way ahead of the game at that point because you see opening week now, right? You look at the biggest line on the board, Cincinnati Bengals. Every other spread, it feels like, guys, is 3 to 3.5 points. It's incredible. And also from the first 2 weeks here, you'll get to know much more about these football teams. But the strategy does change sometimes week to week because it's so, like, how many times you say, like, this is my best bet of the week? And you go, oh, you know what? Let me double down on this bet. And then you win
Right.
2 other bets at less. You end up losing money for the week. Going like, I went 1 and 2 because I lost my best bet, or 2 and 1, but lost money overall. Sometimes this is why it's so tricky. If you were just asked to pick 7 games a week without the confidence level, it'd be pretty easy as a tournament itself. Hey, I'm above 500. I'm in the running. But the fact that you can have a great record, but if you're not hitting your 7, 6s, and 5s, you're going to be behind the 8 ball, which then vice versa. If you're hitting your 7, 6, and 5s, but losing the rest of them, you're still having good weeks. So early on, just trying to survive, but you have to see to say, you know what? This is my best game. I'm going to stick to it. And don't second guess yourself is probably the best advice. Because how many times, Sammy and Bobby, have we done that? My favorite game of the week is the Dallas Cowboys. Let me change it up only to see the Dallas Cowboys win easily and should have been your favorite game of the week. And you lost the other game that you bet is your new favorite of the week.
Exactly. And, referencing on that, Donnie, do you wait till last minute? Do you look at line movements before you put those picks in?
Yeah, here's what I like though about this too, because we do the shows on Wednesdays, which is great because it forces Sammy and me when we go over the picks to actually have those plays in. So you get that baseline to start, and sometimes you can make adjustments. But as I said, a lot of the times I'll find myself looking before the game start on Sunday, going like, I'm not going to change it. Like my first instinct is correct here, and I'm going to ride it out. So I like the fact that we're not waiting until like Sunday at 11:58 or 11:59, like an hour before kickoff to get these going. So I like the fact that we get the first look at it early in the week, and then you can make changes late, depending if you get some injury information or something like that.
Exactly. Sammy, going into this, what's your strategy? Starting off with this first week, and are you a kind of guy that are you going to change your picks up at the last minute depending on line movement, or do you pretty much know what you want and that's it?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely do look at line movement to see if it's going for or against, but also sometimes the contest line might not adjust to the actual line.
That's my point.
Yeah,
that was my point of asking that. It usually doesn't.
In that variation or sense, then yes, if there's a major injury, the line moves 3 points, the contest hasn't adjusted.
Exactly.
Well, then of course I'm going to take the free points and hope that, and I'm going to move that confidence level.
Right,
but in this week 1 and week 2 is so tough. So many games at 2.5, 3.5. I guess from a strategy standpoint, my top 3 lines are going with the quote unquote hook lines. So on my spreads, I went with the -2.5 for my higher confidence. I do have a couple -3.5s that are going to be my lowest confidence. And then I do have the Jets in there at +3.5. So that's rated higher just because I have the quote unquote hook half point there that I'm going to take advantage of in hopes to gain points. And then Donnie hit the nail on the head in the sense of, we're gamblers. Don't second guess ourselves. That's the worst thing you could do. What's 100%. Your first instinct? Go with what you think first, and then don't second guess yourself, because then you're third, fourth guessing yourself, then going back and forth, and you're tilting yourself. Don't get in your head. Keep it simple, stupid.
Yeah.
And since you brought that up, my personal opinion as far as bankroll management going into the season, scared money does not make money. And what I mean by that is I am not going to risk the house payment, risk the rent payment, risk the car payment, trying to make money. I'm only going to gamble with what I can afford to lose. Hey, if I win, that's great. But if I lose, I'm not going to go out and jump off a bridge the next day,
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to NFL coming back, it's really just another sport coming back. Most of us are bettors that are daily bettors anyway. So maybe we're not betting much on baseball. Look at Jerky, JDS. He doesn't bet much on baseball, but he's doing it just for a little bit of action, but he's throwing more on college or NFL.
Right, because he's more confident with those.
College basketball's come back. I'm a tennis guy. Most of my money's on tennis. I'm definitely betting on football, but most of my money's still going to be landing on tennis. So, bankroll management, like you said, Bobby.
Exactly. And, real quick, guys, make sure you get those picks in for our 10K NFL Pick'em pool. Guys, the picks are open. They opened yesterday, September 3rd. So the contest starts September 3rd. It ends on the 30th of this month. So 7 NFL picks, pretty easy. You sign confidence picks between 1 and 7. The picks must be submitted prior to kickoff. And Sammy, let's roll right into that. What are your 7? Let's start from 7 and work our way back.
Yeah, so subject to change as far as confidence, but right now we're keeping it at right now I like Kansas City -2.5 over Baltimore. You got to start with Thursday night action, and I do like Kansas City, defending champions at home. Baltimore has improved. They're a great regular season team, just like the Dallas Cowboys, but getting the home field advantage, getting the 2.5 is definitely the advantage there. So I'm taking Kansas City. My square pick of the week, I got 2 of them on there, is the Houston Texans -2.5 over Indianapolis. They're on the road, divisional matchup. You got to take the home underdog here, right? I just love that Houston offense. I do love the Indianapolis offense, but I think that Houston offense, CJ Stroud is an MVP candidate. I have him in a couple fantasy football leagues, and I think that wide receiver combination, the big 3 over there, has enough to beat Indianapolis in an important division matchup in week 1. The third confidence, I went with the Jets +3.5. There's a stat out there. The defending Super Bowl losing team week 1 is like 4-15 against the spread. And that's for the 49ers. Aaron Rodgers, hopefully coming back. We said it last year, welcome back to the Jets. We'll see what happens with the Jets. So much hype, so much hope, so much happiness to go down on play number 3, comeback player of the year. We'll see what happens. Got to hope for that Jets. Obviously, being in upstate New York, I do have a ton of Jets fans. I do have buddies coming over from Monday night, so we'll get together.
Nice,
there's going to be a lot of anxiety on the in the room for Aaron Rodgers and the Jets. The other picks I like is the Dallas Cowboys plus 2.5 over the Browns.
No surprise there.
They're a better team than the Browns. Fuck Deshaun Watson. Hope he doesn't play. Even if he does, I hope they kill him. I hope Michael Parsons takes him down. I'll be saying that every single week. Other ones I like the Falcons minus 2.5 home to Pittsburgh. And then I like the Lions on Sunday Night Football minus 3.5 home to the Rams. And then another square thing in the NFL. You're betting Thursday night, Friday night, Sunday night, Monday night. Those are the TV games. And the Dallas Cowboys is the afternoon game of the week. So that's guaranteed Fox game in your local area. Obviously, I got red zone action on mine. I'm going to have multiple TVs going. U.S. Open Finals is on Sunday. I can't wait for Sunday. Let's get it.
It's going to be a great week for sure. Donnie, let's jump into yours. But real fast before we do that, guys, I miss the Monday night doubleheader. I really do.
I loved it. I used to love it to open up. Yeah,
I think it's week 3 this year or something. They're doing a doubleheader. I don't know if it's week 2 or week 3. I think they're not doing the doubleheader because of the Friday night Brazil game, which is on Peacock, by the way. I have Peacock, but I know other people don't, or, they got to pay for another streaming network. It sucks. They got us away from cable. Now we got to buy all this other streaming services. I have Amazon. I don't have Apple. I don't know if any games are on Apple, but I do have Peacock, but it's tough. You got to get all the streaming services.
Yes, you do. Sammy, since you brought up that Brazil game, what's your opinion on the players going down there and playing? I'm hearing some stuff, on the internet. It's going to be dangerous to the fans, dangerous to the players. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, Brazil's not a spot that I would be going to from a destination standpoint, but I mean, the players are, have more security, but they're told not to leave the hotel. If you're going to a destination, when you're going to England, when you
want to go out and see stuff and do stuff.
Exactly. And part of the going for a week, and leaving your family and leaving, the home, you're losing your home field advantage is the experience. So you're told that you can't really go anywhere and you got to be in the hotel, and that they're, enforcing higher security in that city. That's not what you want to hear going into it. But I hope the fans have a good experience. I hope no one has any issues, but you want to say what a great experience or experiment going over there, but it doesn't sound like it's going off to a good start.
Right. Donnie, what's your opinion on them going down to Brazil, number 1? And then let's get your top 7 confidence picks, starting from 7 and working our way back.
As an Eagles fan, I would have loved it if the Packers had the home game. Like, hey, we don't have to go to Lambeau. We get to go to Brazil. It's on an even turf. But as an Eagles fan, you're taking away one of their home games this year to play in Brazil in a pivotal game that could decide home field advantage in the NFC. And I think you guys are right on this. We don't think anything's going to happen. The NFL is ramping up security. But the question is, if you have to ramp up security, what are you doing there in the first place? And hear me out on this. Like a regular season game, what is the point of you have 3 preseason games? I don't care if the Eagles played in Germany, Brazil, and London in the preseason. They don't care either. Hey, look at that. It's American football. Yeah, we'll go out to watch it. You don't need regular season football overseas, but we know why you do it. It's about the almighty dollar. To make more money by going overseas, they're certainly going to do it, even if it's at a detriment to the home fans, away fans, who's ever fans here. I don't think anything's going to happen. I wish the game was just at Lincoln Financial Field, but it's not. So let's get to the pool itself. Picks number 7, which means 7 in confidence. I like it the best. This is going to be a real square play. I think Buffalo wipes the floor with the Arizona Cardinals. I just do. I know everybody's down on Buffalo, not a team as high as we think, like in the past, 2 to 3 seasons, but you're going up against Arizona with a limited offense, a rookie wide receiver that's really good, and Kyler Murray can run around. That's as bad as a defense as you're going to get. Josh Allen should rise up. They should win that game by a touchdown or more. Pick number 6, confidence here. I'm going to go Tampa Bay at home, and I'll lay the 3.5 against Washington. It's one of those aspects where I do like Washington's team in the future. I just don't know. Rookie quarterback on the road, first game out there. Tampa Bay's at home. I think Baker Mayfield, the boys, can handle their business. Confidence pick number 5 for me. Let me see where we're going here. Detroit at home against the Rams. I just think that is going to be a raucous atmosphere. Do I like the Rams this season? Do I think they'll be over 500? Yes, but they're running into a buzzsaw night 1 against Detroit. Number 4 in confidence. How about this, Sammy? The Dallas Cowboys. I'm taking the 2.5 as well. Look at the Cleveland Browns. Deshaun Watson shoulder fatigue throughout training camp. No Nick Chubb game number 1. You can't tell me that they're the better football team. So I'll take the points with the Dallas Cowboys. Also, I can't stand the New York Giants this year. And I know Sam Darnold is the starting quarterback for the Vikings, but they're just a better football team overall. What's the Giants' max ceiling in this game? 20 points overall. No doubt in my mind, Minnesota can put up 20 plus on the road in the Meadowlands and win that game, and basically at a pick 'em here. Confidence level number 2. The reason I don't have this higher is I know there's no traps that we talk about here. Like, ooh, that's a trap line. It just feels like it. Trust me, Las Vegas and setting the odds, they don't work that way. But Houston has only a 2.5-point favorite against Indianapolis with a quarterback that has struggled in the preseason, still technically in his rookie year. And it looks like Houston so far a well-oiled machine. Now, the question mark would be, well, Donnie, why is it only 2.5? Why is it 4.5 or 5.5? We'll find out on Sunday, but I'm going to bite the bullet, and I'm going to take Houston there as one of my picks. And number 1, I do like Kansas City opening night. 2.5 is massive. 3 is technically across the board, 3.5. If you give me under a field goal, Patrick Mahomes and Kansas City at home, it's going to be an awesome fight tomorrow night. But at the end of the day, I think Kansas City's the better team because why? They got Patrick Mahomes and the other team doesn't. So I'll take the Kansas City Chiefs tomorrow to start it off at a confidence level 1 and get the party started.
Awesome. Good luck with those, Donnie and Sammy. Donnie, let's run into some baseball. Switch topic for a minute from the NFL. What do you got this afternoon? How's it looking?
Yeah, you know what's funny about this too? Like Major League Baseball, and it's no fault. Like I love baseball. It's a great grind. It's awesome. April, May, June, July, August. And then we hit September, and there's still money to be made. We have to remind ourselves that. Yes, there's going to be bigger odds and bigger favorites because some teams actively are trying to lose, like the Chicago White Sox can't win on a night-to-night basis. But don't forget about baseball here because on the night-to-night, you're still going to get 13, 14, 15 games that you can bet on here. So tonight, I'm going to take a look at an over between the Dodgers and the Angels on the West Coast today. It was 9.5 this morning. It's up to 10, and I agree with that. I think we do get double-digit runs. I'll stick with that play. And also Seattle and Oakland. Pitchers ballpark, 2 good pitchers on the mound today, questionable lineups at best. I don't think that game goes over 7.5. But if you're looking at maybe a team total late night as well, and I'm loving this West Coast action tonight, take a look at the Arizona Diamondbacks tonight. They got 6 to 7 plus batters in that lineup going against Birdsong, who's not a great pitcher for the San Francisco Giants. So if you're a night out tonight, we can make some money here.
Awesome. Sammy, what do you got for us on the Diamond? And how's that GD contest looking?
Yeah, keep in mind, too, from an action standpoint, football is Saturday and Sunday. From a volume standpoint, Monday through Friday is still baseball-driven in terms of more games on the card for the action guys. But, yeah, a couple small favorites on the home favorites today. The Mets over Boston, -110, and the Brewers over the Cardinals. In reference to a couple of contests, we got the Cover the League contest where 3 guys are currently tied, needing the White Sox to cover the league. I'm personally 1 behind. I got the Cardinals and then the White Sox, and then everyone's waiting on them. However, Big J's got a big advantage. He's down to 2 teams. One of them is the Dodgers, who's a heavy favorite tonight to win. And then all he has is the Cincinnati Reds to finish. And the White Sox are off tomorrow as well for anyone that might need them. So a couple guys have needed the White Sox for about 4 or 5 days, but Big J has the the advantage right now, not needing the White Sox to win that contest. The other big contest, JDS contest, is coming down. You got Sunshine and Martin Hop. They are tied at 99 picks, minimum of 100, maximum of 125. Sunshine's got a 2-unit lead at 20.47 versus 18.22. So it is neck and neck with anywhere between 1 and 25 games to go. Strategy is going to be coming into play here.
Yes, it will for sure. Sammy, since we're over to you, let's talk some tennis. How's that tennis thread looking?
Yeah, tennis is looking good right now. Hitting a ton on the live plays, been doing really well there. Hard court's been doing well, and on the men's side, there's been, other than Jannik Sinner and Medvedev, it's been some upsets. You got 2 Americans in the semifinals, Francis Tiafoe versus Taylor Fritz, guaranteed one to be in the finals for the first time since 2006. And there hasn't been a male winner, I think, in over 20 years. It's been dominated by Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic. This will be the first time since 2004 that none of those 3 have won a Grand Slam. Although Djokovic did win the gold medal match in the Olympics, none of the big 3 have won a Grand Slam, which has been a a huge upset, obviously, and something that hasn't happened in forever. But yeah, I do like Iga Swiatek tonight over Pagula in my parlay that I had with Mukova earlier. And then I like Medvedev to cover 5.5 games versus Jannik Sinner. Sinner might win, but Medvedev was up 2-0 in the Australian Open finals earlier this year until Sinner came back from 2-0. So Medvedev will definitely take at least one set, and then it's just how much he competes in the other 3 or 4 sets. I'm hoping Medvedev wins, but at least I think he'll keep it close. The record right now, we're 680, 552, right at 60 units won on the year.
Awesome. Very nice. Very nice. Donnie, I know we talked a lot of NFL already.
Yeah.
But, let's not sleep on college. How was your week 1, and what do you got for week 2?
I enjoyed it a lot. And again, I'm a Miami Hurricane fan. It's been a long time since I had anything to get excited about, but watching the Miami Hurricanes dust off the Florida Gators in the swamp led by Cam Ward was a lot of fun. Also, loved college football too. That Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday combo was sensational. I really enjoyed the 2 primetime games on Sunday and Monday. Sunday between LSU and USC, so much fun to watch. The only reason why it was fun to watch on Monday is because I don't like Florida State all that much, and they got hammered by BC to open the season 0-2, so I did enjoy that. This week's action here, 3 games on Saturday I'm taking a look at. The thing I love about Penn State, if Penn State needs to win a big game they're not supposed to win, you know what happens, guys? They don't win that football game. But if Penn State needs to win a game where they're favored and they're more talented than the other team, they usually run roughshod over those teams. You take a look at Bowling Green and Penn State at noon on Saturday. That line is 34.5, up from 29.5 at the opening number. But the total is 48.5. This screams like Penn State might cover that total all by themselves. If you give me a touchdown or maybe 10 points out of Bowling Green, who did score 41 points in their opening game, I like the over 48.5. Texas, Michigan, another one. 3.5 at the opening number, bet all the way up to 7.5. It feels like a trap game now where nobody's giving Michigan a chance, the defending national champions, on their home field. I still do think Texas pulls it out, but that 7.5 is certainly a tricky number to try to watch out. And also, Colorado, Nebraska. That is going to be a track meet here. Opened up at 56.5 this week, now up to 58.5. I think we get into the 60s in that game. So 2 games at 12 o'clock, 1 game at 7:30. I can't wait to watch more college football. I've been enjoying it a lot, gentlemen.
Awesome. Thank you, Donnie. Thank you. And, guys, I got a little teaser for you. This has not even been announced on the forum yet, but poker is coming back just in time for NFL. So on Sundays, we're going to be watching the games, watching the NFL games, and playing some poker for your share of baller coins. So, guys, look, be on the lookout for my thread here coming soon, announcing the start of poker. And, I personally cannot wait. It's always a lot of fun. And, I know we got a good core group of guys that have been consistently playing, but I hope to see a lot of fresh new faces. If you have any questions in regards to it, please feel free and reach out to me directly. But it's going to be a good time for sure. Sammy, I see you are in the Pick the Dog contest. What do you got for this week?
Yeah, so NFL Pick the Dog contest. You got to follow along. I did ask Wager All Sports if he's going to pin the thread right up on top. But basically, he posts the lines for the games, and then you have to take the lines that he's posting. Underdogs only, spreads or money line, but you cannot pick the same in both games. So, for example, you can't take the Ravens +3 and the Ravens on the money line. You can take one or the other. Minimum of 1, maximum 4 picks per week. I think it's 48 picks or 54 on the year. I think it was like
48
average.
48.
I know for me, they're not posted yet, but I'm going to take the Cowboys on the money line, and I'm going to take the Jets at +3.5 for my 2 picks this week. And then I think that we're up to like 45 or 50 entries too. He keeps tagging everyone that's been posted. Last I counted, we were in the mid-40s. So a great amount, good volume for amount of contestants, and may the best dog win.
Exactly. And it's 44 picks there for your knowledge, Sammy. 44 picks. And Donnie, I don't think we touched on this yet. Let's touch on it a little bit. I know we only have, like a day and a half until NFL is officially underway. But did you see any good offers from any books this season? Where did you put money into?
Yeah, there's a cut because obviously Bet Any Sports is the one I initially signed up with when I got in these contests. And also, guys, very easy to become a baller out here. And if you're not doing it, you're doing things wrong because you're going to be playing anyway. Exactly. Why not invest? And it's like, make it happen. It's like so many times in the past, you see people like, hey, why my top 5 in a contest? I got a fraction of the money you said I was going to win. Become a baller, get all the money that you could possibly win, which is why we have such great contests at this point. So Bet Any Sports is the one I stick to, but obviously always on the lookout. You know what I love too? It's not so much about the day to day, like, hey, deposit $100, get $100 free.
Right.
I love the specials. Give me the boost. Give me the profit boost. Give me, hey, it's Saturday, 50% profit boost on any play that you have. Those are the things that get my attention more than just a credit boost when you actually unload into the account itself. So any book that's offering stuff like that, I'm always buying. But Bet Any Sports for me, that's the book that I do use here with us guys.
All right, Sammy, same question to you. What did you find to start the season, and where's your money at?
Yeah, normally it's at Bookmaker Offshore, but Bet MGM for the New York book. Yeah. Again, like Donnie says, they offer the promotions. I did a divisional parlay, and I got a 20% odds boost onto it. So, long-term action. I took the Texans, the Chiefs, the Lions, and the 49ers all to win the division. And I got it at plus 957 odds. So, I got year-long action. I told you a couple weeks ago I took the Cowboys for a future bet. That was with a free $100 bet that they give you. I've been taking a couple tennis, like Dougie parlays, like 10, 15 money line parlays for the first couple days with their $50 free play or their 20% odd boost just to take advantage. But just like Donnie says, the American books definitely throw more offers from a day-to-day basis, where the offshore books give you that big bonus, the boost to deposit, bonus, and then nothing from a day-to-day basis.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
But I guess it all depends on like the offshore books. Maybe you're not paying taxes on it where, you can hide it. I mean, it all depends on how much you're winning and or losing. Like, if you're having too much withdrawals with the Bitcoin, maybe they're taxing you. But if you're only winning a few thousand, maybe they're not. I don't know, because I'm never taxed, so nothing to worry about. But obviously with the American books, they're taxing you on your winnings. Hopefully they're taxing you because you're at that level where they are taxing you.
Donnie, real quick before we get out of here, let's talk some futures. What do you got this season as far as divisional winners and futures in general?
Yeah, it's interesting on futures this year. I haven't made those wagers yet. Now, sometimes when we're handicappers, guys, we got to be honest with ourselves. Like last year, I had the Ravens put a couple $100 on them to win the Super Bowl, and boy, I was riding high right up until the AFC Championship game. But for me, I tend to not do so well in futures. Like when I look overall, and the reason I say this is I'm a big content guy, as you guys know. On a day-to-day basis, I'm in the mix. Not necessarily looking what's going to happen in the next couple months, where back in the day when I was just strictly a handicapper, maybe doing one show a day for a half hour or an hour, you can analyze all off season long. I'm much more of give me the day slate, which is why I love baseball. It's like, just give me the day slate. I'll analyze it and go ahead with it. Like, hey, last year I picked the Padres as a long shot, heading down the stretch, up in flames to end the season. That's just the way it goes for me. But in the NFL, it's hard pressed for me to say, like, an underdog situation, because I'm not picking a team like 55-1, 60-1. Last year, I picked the Steelers at a 75-1 price as one of my bets to win the Super Bowl. Not necessarily to win it, if you will, but just to make the playoffs and maybe you can hedge out. Never really had a great opportunity to win anything, because once I got to the playoffs, they were still similarly priced as once they were to begin to start the season. So for my money this year, I haven't made any long-term wagers just yet. I might do it. And again, as Sammy said, sometimes those books appear like, hey, 30%, 50% odds boost on a future to win the Super Bowl. That's when I would get involved. But to be honest, know your limitations. I'm much better week to week than I am long distance betting here, guys.
All righty. Sammy, same question to you before we wrap up this wonderful NFL week number one. What do you got for futures this year?
Yeah, kind of just went over it a couple minutes ago with the division parlay, and I got the Cowboys future, but also I'm in the Eliminator Challenge, where pick one team to win every week, and you would survive in advance. It's a good strategic game because do you pick the favorite of the week, or do you pick the Kansas City, or do you save them for a later time? So it's a good event. 2 entries for me, $50 a piece, over 200 entries. So it's a great prize pool. I've never won it. I've come very close, but it's just a fun time as long as you don't lose within the first month, because then it starts getting a lot of fun.
Yeah. Exactly. Awesome. Well, good luck with that, Sammy. And guys, best of luck on all your NFL week one action, college football action, whatever you have this week. Make sure you're cashing those tickets, and you guys have a great week, and we'll see you on the forum.
See ya.